It's Wednesday, July 8th. In the headlines, Alpart revival could support jobs, contractors, and small businesses. In business news, AI-related skills are growing nearly 8 times faster than the overall job market. Regionally, Caricom leaders seek consensus on United States deportations. And in sports, West Indies secure first Test series win over Sri Lanka in years. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. More jobs are on the horizon for residents of Western Jamaica as the Alpart alumina refinery in St. Elizabeth could reopen before the end of the year. Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Floyd Green, made a major announcement about modernization plans following talks in China with refinery owner Jiquan Iron and Steel Company Alpart facility, GISCO. The minister says the government used its recent mission to China to press for urgent action on the long-delayed restart of the refinery. Minister Green says GISCO has committed to a two-phase redevelopment program aimed at restoring Alpart to a production capacity of 2 million tons of alumina per year.
The objective is to restore Alpart as a modern, competitive operation and a major player in global alumina production. GISCO's redevelopment plan is designed to return the refinery to a production capacity of approximately 2 million tons of alumina annually, implemented in two phases, with phase 1 targeting 1 million tons per year and phase 2 adding a further 1 million tons.
He says GISCO is working to satisfy conditions needed to begin operations. He adds that the plan includes a 5-megawatt solar and energy storage system.
The company has committed to making every effort to satisfy the necessary preconditions to allow construction activities to commence before the end of this year, with the objective of an official launch before June 2027.
The minister says Alpart remains a major economic lifeline for St. Elizabeth and the surrounding communities, supporting jobs, transport operators, contractors, and small businesses. Finance Minister Favour Williams says Jamaica Stock Exchange's new micro market could open a major new source of financing for small businesses, giving micro and small enterprises access to equity capital to grow, modernize, and create jobs. Speaking in Parliament on Tuesday, she said the new market is about making wealth creation and capital access available for smaller Jamaican businesses. The platform is designed for businesses that often struggle to access traditional funding.
The platform has been designed with the specific financial realities of micro and small businesses in mind. By adding the micro market to the existing ecosystem, it will allow micro and small enterprises to raise equity capital in the range of $50 million to $100 million, providing meaningful funding that can support business expansion, working capital needs, technology upgrades, and job creation.
She says an initial group of 25 businesses that have graduated from the Jamaica Business Development Corporation's Accelerator Program has already been identified as leading candidates for the market. A key feature of the program will be a stock market sandbox.
This is a simulated market environment designed to prepare businesses for the realities of operating as a publicly listed entity. The sandbox will expose prospective issuers to the reporting obligations, corporate governance standards, and regulatory expectations they will face once they are listed.
Opposition Speaker on Finance, Julian Robinson, voiced his support.
And so we have no issue and actually support this development because we believe access to capital is the greatest inhibitor of growth, particularly for micro enterprises.
Under the micro market framework, companies will be able to raise up to $100 million, must have at least 20% public shareholding and a minimum of 50 new shareholders, and will be required to transition to the junior market once they exceed the capital threshold. Chief Executive Officer of MBJ Airports Limited, Shane Monroe, says the new services show that airlines remain confident in Jamaica despite the disruption caused by Hurricane Melissa. He says airlines do not commit aircraft and launch routes lightly, and each new service to Montego Bay is a sign that the destination remains attractive and commercially viable. Mr. Monroe says the new flights signals that Montego Bay remains a strong tourism gateway for the region. Among the new services is Wingo's 3 times weekly route from Medellin, Colombia, which began on June 23. Liat Air is also set to start flights between Guadeloupe and Montego Bay later this month, while Breeze Airways will begin twice weekly service from Tampa during the winter tourist season. Porter Airlines is also to launch flights from Toronto, Hamilton, and Ottawa in late November, in a move Monroe says is especially important for rebuilding traffic from the Canadian market. He adds that the expanded airlift will be key to restoring passenger capacity and supporting Jamaica's tourism rebound. Lloyd's Cemetery in Yalas is suffering from severe neglect, overgrowth, and closure due to boundary breaches and roadway encroachments. Raphael Watson says he has made several calls to the authorities over the years.
This cemetery was donated to the community, but Parish Council take it over. It's like a disgrace. We were the one that used to build it. Now Parish Council take it over, collecting the money. And now look at the condition where our loved ones bury. We cannot sit in the community and see this going on like this.
Mr. Watson says residents have been trying to restrain the overgrowth, but it is proving too difficult.
The government need to come in, step in and see that this cemetery, because they are the one that collect the money, not us. See the man, them just doing us a favor, voluntary, and all we have to do is just provide food for them, and they voluntary helping us to see that the cemetery clear in the community.
He says although the cemetery is closed to burial, it is still being used.
I am the one that go and call them and them say cemetery closed and them still bury dead over there all in the road.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation, Kevin McIndoe, says his team is aware of the issue.
We recently used drone-assisted technology at the Red Hill Cemetery in Morant Bay, and it proved to be safe, cost-effective, and we will now deploy that very same approach at the Lloyd Cemetery. Our team is finalizing the schedule now, and we really thank the public for, expressing their concern, but we had it on our radar.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing you the developments shaping markets, capital access, and business decision-making across Jamaica and the region. Let's get into the stories that matter. According to PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, 2026 AI Jobs Barometer, AI is reshaping the skills employers value most. And I quote, AI is increasing the importance of uniquely human capabilities, said Hugh Thompson, Director Consultant, Digital Transformation at PBCJ Jamaica. He continues, employees will need to combine AI literacy with critical thinking, communication, leadership, and sound judgment, end quote. The report, which analyzed more than 1 billion job advertisements across 27 countries and territories, found that jobs requiring AI-related skills are growing nearly 8 times faster than the overall job market, while workers with AI skills now command a 62% wage premium globally. The study found that companies most exposed to AI are outperforming, with labor productivity growth reaching 163% among leading organizations, compared with significantly lower gains elsewhere. Wayne Sinclair, president of the Global Services Association of Jamaica, GSAJ, is urging the government to stem the job losses in the BPO sector. This call was supported by Gloria Henry, JP, director and former president of GSAJ. She said, Jamaica global services sector, it's now time for Jamaica to invest strategically in the future skills our people need to compete globally, Henry said. And I quote, we can no longer rely on being solely an English-speaking destination, near-shore destination. If we are serious about building a digital economy, we must prepare our people with the skills to compete, innovate, and succeed. Supporting the association's call, Yoni Epstein, CD, founder and CEO of ITEL, and also a GSAJ director, said Jamaica must once again become more visible in the international marketplace. The association believes that with bold national action, Jamaica can reverse recent job losses, protect existing investments, attract new opportunities, and create the next generation of careers in the global services sector. For the trading period of July 7, 2026, the most actively traded securities were Sagicor Select Funds Limited Financial with 4,128,558 units representing 22.92% of market sales activities. Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 3,746,098 units representing 20.80% of market sales activities. Pan Jamaica Group Limited with 3,450 units representing 16.66% of market sales activities. Investor activity remained concentrated in real estate, transportation, and distribution plays, signaling continued interest in dividend-producing and strategic assets. Turning to the foreign exchange market based on Bank of Jamaica data for July 7, 2026, Forex traders recorded significant activity with strong demand across major currencies. For the US dollar, trading margins reflected steady liquidity, with the US selling at $159.33 and buying at $158.15. For the Canadian dollar, moderate gains supported by $1.01 transaction spreads. The Canadian dollar sold for $111.14 and was bought for $110.13. For the British pound, continued volatility offered short-term trading opportunities of $1.82 in profits for the banks. The British pound sold for $211.61 and was bought for $209.79. These movements underscore the importance of cash flow timing and currency awareness for businesses managing import costs, debt servicing, or overseas exposure. For our credit report tip of the day, inflation doesn't just raise prices, it can lower credit scores. When the cost of living rises faster than incomes, many households face an impossible choice: cut back on essentials or rely on credit to bridge the gap. For many, credit has become a survival tool rather than a financial strategy. The result? Credit scores can begin to decline, not because people are irresponsible, but because financial pressure changes borrowing habits. Higher credit card balances, increased credit utilization, and making only minimum payments can all signal greater risk to lenders, even when payments are made on time. While no one can control inflation, there are steps to protect your financial reputation. 1. Pay every bill on time. 2. Keep credit card balances as low as possible. 3. Review your credit report regularly for errors. And avoid taking on new debt unless it serves a long-term purpose. Then build an emergency fund even if you start small. Your credit score is more than a number. It reflects your financial resilience and influences your ability to access affordable financing when opportunities arise. And that's today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, bringing clarity to capital markets and strategy. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep building forward. See you soon.
In regional news, Caricom leaders have been trying to reach a consensus on the deportation of undocumented immigrants from the United States. We hear more in this report from Peter Richards in Castries.
An issue that is likely to result in the regional leaders reaching some form of collective agreement is that of the United States policy regarding the deportation of illegal immigrants from the North American country to third countries. Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown says while the issue is not on the agenda, he is in favor of the Caribbean adopting a common position on the issue. Washington has been seeking to reach bilateral agreement with Caribbean countries on the matter.
We have had discussions to get a Caricom regional consensus. Unfortunately, that has been very difficult. Several countries have already signed the TCN agreements, and there seem to be some maybe reluctance, fear among some to have that type of coordinated approach. But I think that is what was required from the onset for us to have had a regional approach, because at the end of the day, we're far stronger together than alone. So what has happened, unfortunately, is that the countries have been negotiating bilaterally without any form of regional input. And that in itself would have exposed each of us, make us weaker, and obviously would have reduced our negotiating power.
Early Tuesday, Caricom officially welcomed Martinique as the 7th Caricom Associate Member State. From the 51st regular meeting of Caricom, I am Peter Richards for the CBC News special coverage.
Caricom heads of government have agreed to Trinidad and Tobago's request to have the issue of the reappointment of Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett referred to the Caribbean Court of Justice. Dr. Barnett's reappointment will be halted until the court issues a ruling.
The decision was announced on Tuesday during the 51st regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government in St. Lucia. Proceedings will be initiated in accordance with Article 212 of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas. Article 212 of the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas grants the Caribbean Court of Justice exclusive jurisdiction to deliver advisory opinions concerning the interpretation and application of the treaty. These opinions can only be delivered at the request of member states that are parties to a dispute or by the community itself. In a statement, Caricom agreed that this way forward allows for the matter to be resolved in an amicable manner and reflects the community's collective commitment to continuous institutional improvement with the highest standards of good governance. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar said she was pleased with the decision. In a statement via social media, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar noted she maintained TNT's objections surrounding the process during the retreat for heads held on July 6, 2026. She thanked heads of government for supporting TNT's proposals, which were viewed as consistent with Caricom's commitment to the highest standards of good governance and institutional improvement. Ayana Carter, TTT News.
In the face of rising food prices, Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottley has called on her Caricom colleagues and the region's private sector to create a compact to help address the challenge in food prices. Pointing to the tens of millions of dollars in profit made by Massey Stores, Barbados, to illustrate her point, Ms. Mottley said the company could have accepted lower profits while providing some relief for its customers. She was speaking during a high-level private sector session with key Caricom stakeholders in St. Lucia. Prime Minister Mottley stressed that a common regional approach to the issue of rising food prices is required.
Not on everything, but we have tried it, and for the most part, it has worked in insulating us from significant increases on essential food and sanitary items. There is no basis, and forgive me, Massey, but Massey cannot make $49 million in profit in Barbados, and middle-class people can't afford to buy food. They could have made $20 million in profit in these circumstances, and they would have been just as good, just as happy, and $29 million would have been left in the pockets of the people who have to decide whether to eat today or not to eat.
In Dominica, fisherfolk are set to benefit from a multi-million-dollar loan from the World Bank. Julian Defoe is the Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy, and he made the disclosure at the handing over of 8 boats in Scott's Head recently.
This brings a total to 54 boats handed over by government to the country's fisherfolk.
And the government contracted to pay for all of this investment, a loan from the World Bank. The initial amount was $66 million, both for the fisheries and the agriculture sector. As you know, the agriculture sector is much larger, so it would have received the largest share, but a significant amount went into the fisheries sector. What would we do? We help people in 2 ways. Those who had their boats left, but their engine was damaged, we give them the option. What do you want? Do you want to help us with an engine? And if their boat was good enough, then their package would be an engine. And those who had an engine, but the boat wasn't good, we give them an option. So they said, okay, I have an engine I can use, or perhaps I can purchase an engine, so give me the boat. So no one person received a boat and engine. So the people who in the public who are saying, oh, they gave the fisherman a boat without an engine, I'm just letting you know from the beginning, this was the agreement, this was the arrangement to assist fishers.
He noted that 108 motors have been given to fishers after Hurricane Maria.
At first, we distributed 108 engines, totaling to about $1.8 million in the first instance. The construction of the 54 boats was even more expensive, costing over $2 million, over $1 million going to our own local boat builders, because all of these boats were built locally, which is a different method that we instituted this time. We have increased our own local people who are building boats, their capacity, compared to in 2008, where we had some local boat constructions, but a large number was imported from Colombia and other places. And this time I'm very proud to say we worked with about 5 or 6 local boat builders who built very high quality and resilient boats after spending over $2 million in these people. So these $2 million were not only the boat construction, it went into capacity building, tools and equipment for these boat builders, because some of them were significantly affected too by the storm.
Acting Chief Fisheries Officer Wynona Joseph urged the recipients to take special care of their equipment.
Those boats should not be viewed simply as an equipment, but as a valuable asset that can help build stronger fishing enterprises, create opportunities for your family, and contribute to the continued growth of our community.
In sports, we begin on the pitch with cricket. The West Indies secured their first home test series in 2 years and their first series victory over Sri Lanka since 2003 after their second and final test match ended in a rain-affected draw at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua on Tuesday.
Sri Lanka began Tuesday needing a win to level the series after their heavy defeat in the first test. After declaring on 251 for 9 just after lunch, Sri Lanka gave the West Indies a challenging target of 302 to be made in the final session. West Indies openers John Campbell and Brandon King stood firm with an unbroken stand of 89 before showers halted play. The Windies ending the day on 109 for none. The draw sealed a 1-0 series win for the Caribbean side, their first at home since defeating Bangladesh 2-0 in 2024 and their first triumph over Sri Lanka since 2003. Adrian Lazar, TTT Sport.
In football news, Argentina and Switzerland booked the final 2 quarter-final spots at the 2026 FIFA World Cup on July 7 after 2 dramatic round of 16 victories. Defending champions Argentina produced a remarkable late comeback to defeat Egypt 3-2 in Atlanta. In the day's other round of 16 contest, Switzerland advanced to the quarterfinals for the first time since 1954 after edging Colombia 4-3 on penalties. Now on to the track with athletics. In Trinidad and Tobago, it was a landmark occasion in secondary schools track and field as the inaugural Island Showdown meet kicked off this week at the Hazley Crawford Stadium.
The Hazley Crawford Stadium opened its doors on Tuesday for day 1 of the secondary schools track and field Island Showdown. The event saw a total of 73 schools from Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, Guyana and St. Vincent and the Grenadines march out for the school's parade to begin proceedings for the 2-day event. Greeting those in attendance was President of Secondary Schools Track and Field, Joseph Brewster.
But I want to thank you all for coming, and we look forward to a great day of competition, 2 days of competition, and don't worry with these seats, they will fill up. So we look forward to having you. We thank you for being here. God bless you. And we have a great day of competition today.
Moving to action on the track, the day's first races was in the boys under 15 100-meter prelims. First was Heat 1 where East Mokarapo's Josiah Kaiton exploded out the gates to win his race in dominant fashion. Heat 2 saw an intense battle between Tyler Hercules of St. Vincent Grammar School and Mackenzie Secondary's Lyndon Haynes. Hercules, however, would edge his way to victory in 11.53 seconds. Day 2 action in the Island Showdown will be on Wednesday at the Hazley Crawford Stadium from 11 a.m. Adrian Lazar, TTT Sport.
And that's the news on PBCJ. Pleasant viewing.